The target structures for this lecture are enough and to. Let's look at the example sentence for the first structure, enough. Here's the example sentence. I'm 18 years old now. I am old enough to drive. So what does old enough mean in this sentence? The words in bold indicate that the person is the necessary age to drive. It means the person is the age needed to drive. Now let's move on to the meaning of to. Here's the example sentence. Jean, you need to slow down. You are driving too fast. So what do the words too fast mean? The words in bold indicate that John is driving faster than is needed or necessary. He needs to slow down. So enough and to are related because they talk about a quantity of something. In the first example sentence, the quantity was about age, how many years someone has lived. So if I say, I'm old enough to go out on my own, this means I have the necessary years in my life to go out alone.
I'm 18, 19, 20.
I'm old enough. To also talks about a quantity or an amount of something. So in the example sentence we saw, the person was driving too fast. The speed that he was driving was more than necessary or was needed. He should slow down. You see. So it's usually talking about quantity of something. Enough means it's good, it's sufficient. To usually means more than sufficient, more than enough. Let's look at the structure for these two words. The structure for enough is like this. We use an adjective or an adverb plus enough. Let's look at the first example. I think I am strong enough to lift this on my own. So that's an adjective plus enough. And the second example, the zebra ran quickly enough to escape from the lion. This is an adverb plus enough. There is a second structure that we can use for enough, and it is enough plus noun. So I can say, I have enough money to buy the car I like. You can see enough plus the noun money. It means I have a sufficient amount of money to buy the car I like. The structure for to is usually used with an adjective. So to plus an adjective. The example is, this car is too old. Let's buy another one. So the car is older than is necessary. It's older than I like. So I don't want it. I want a newer car. I hope the meaning and the structure is clear for you now. Let's move on to the things we need to note for enough and to. So let's look at the things we need to note when using enough and to. Let's bring your understanding of these structures to the next level. Let's look at the first thing. I'd like you to compare enough and to, just so that the meaning is even clearer for you. First of all, enough. This bed is big enough. What does it mean? It means it is a good size for me. That's what I'm trying to say. This bed is big enough. It's a good size for me. It's perfect. Let's use the negative form now. This bed is not big enough. What does this mean? I'm trying to say it needs to be bigger. It's not sufficient for me because I'm big. The bed is small. It's not big enough. Now let's use to. This bed is too big. This means it needs to be smaller. It's too big for me. It's more than is necessary. So it needs to be smaller. That's a comparison of enough and to, just so that you can understand them better. Let's move on to the second thing that we should note. We can use enough without a noun if we mention the noun before, or if we know what the person is talking about. So one of the structures, remember, is enough plus noun. But if we know what the noun is, we can leave it out. Look at this example of Jane and Paul talking to each other. Jane says, I'm going to buy some more wine for the guests. Paul replies, no, we have enough. Here he's just used enough, because he's just trying to say we have enough wine. Jane mentioned wine, so Paul doesn't have to repeat it. You can mention wine if you like. Paul could say, no, we have enough wine. but it's not necessary. We can delete it if we wish, if the meaning is clear. Let's look at the next thing we should note for these two structures. We can use much and many with to. Much is for uncountable nouns, many is for countable nouns. Look at these examples. I ate too much ice cream today. I feel really sick now. Here I've used much to mean the quantity was a lot. An ice cream is an uncountable noun. We cannot count it, so we should use much. The second example, there were too many people at the beach today. We couldn't sit down anywhere. So here I've used many because people is a countable noun. We can say 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. That means it's countable. So use many. Here's the next thing that we have to note. Very often we use for somebody or for something, which is a noun, with enough and to. So look at this example using enough. Our school doesn't have enough space for the children. So for is talking about who the problem affects. It affects the children. Second example, we're using to. That t-shirt is too big for you. Who does the problem affect? It affects you. That t-shirt is too big for you. So when using for, it can be omitted. It's not necessary, but it makes the meaning much clearer. If I say, our school doesn't have enough space, this means the problem is affecting everyone. But if I want to focus who the problem affects, if I'm thinking about the children, the students, I can say, our school doesn't have enough space for the children. So I'm thinking about the children. It's affecting them more than anyone else. Similarly, if I say, that t-shirt is too big, we probably know who it's affecting. If I'm talking to my friend face to face and he's wearing a t-shirt, I say, that t-shirt's too big. The meaning is clear. But if I say, that t-shirt is too big for you, the meaning is even clearer. It means for your body, for your shape the t-shirt is too big, get a smaller one. Let's look at the last thing that we have to note. Very often we use to do something a verb, with enough and to. Look at this first example. The weather isn't warm enough to have a picnic today. You're giving the reason why you said the weather isn't warm enough. It isn't warm enough to have a picnic today. Look at the second example. She is too young to drink alcohol. If I just say, she is too young, the person won't know what I'm talking about. Too young for what? Too young to do what? So I say, she's too young to drink alcohol. So I hope those things to note have made everything much clearer and developed your understanding of enough and to. Make sure you move on to the practice exercises, the speaking and the listening. Listen to them as much as you can. This will help you to really understand and master all these grammar structures. Listening practice for enough and to. Listen to the sentence, then pause the video and repeat after me. Question: how was your trip to Canada? Did you enjoy it? A. It was amazing. There are so many beautiful places to see. We didn't have enough time to see everything we wanted. This file is too large to put onto my USB drive. I'll have to find another way. Question: what do you think of my painting? A. It's very good, but it could be better. There's not enough color over here, and this part is too white. Wow, this house is perfect. There is a pool, a large driveway, and enough space for the kids to run around. Question: do you have enough wine, or would you like some more? A. No thanks, we have enough. Let's go to the beach this weekend. It's not warm enough to go to the beach. Let's wait until the weather gets warmer. If you're determined enough, you can do anything in life. With enough dedication, anything is possible. There are too many cars and too much pollution in this city. I'm thinking about moving to another place. Muhammad Ali once said, He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. I'm really sorry, but I'm too sick to go to work today. No problem. Make sure you get enough rest. Question: I'm going to paint the bedroom today. Is this color bright enough? Eh, oh no, that color is too strong. Let's choose a softer color. Teacher, come on, Robert. You're not working quickly enough. Robert, but these questions are too difficult for me. Company CEO, what do you think of the interviewee? Assistant, I don't think he has enough experience for the job. He is too young. The cake I baked isn't sweet enough. It needs more sugar. The famous author C.S. Lewis famously said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." Sorry, there aren't enough chairs for everyone to sit down. Sorry, I'm too busy to talk now. Can you call me back later? The piano was too heavy to move, so we called a company to help us. Daniel, do we have enough time to visit my parents on the way home? Samantha, no, it's too late. Let's visit them tomorrow. I need to buy a new suitcase. This one isn't big enough for all my stuff. I'm going to buy some things from the shop. Shall I buy some milk, or do we have enough? Man, this road is too dangerous to play on. Go to the park. Children, but the park is too far away. Harry, do you ever want to run your own business? Natalie, definitely not. I'm not patient or determined enough to run a business. James is an excellent student, but his work is too messy. Sometimes it's not clear. Enough. This curry is too spicy for me to eat. My mouth is on fire. Jane and Emma saw Johnny Depp at the movie premiere, but they couldn't get close enough to take a picture with him. Point 16. Michael speaks some Spanish, but not enough to have a conversation. Carl, how is the food? Brian, the pizza is too salty for me. Brazil beat Mexico 4-0. The Brazilian team was too strong for the Mexicans. Rita, how was your trip to Canada? Did you enjoy it? Toby, it was amazing. There are so many beautiful places to see. We didn't have enough time to see everything we wanted. This file is too large to put onto my USB drive. I'll have to find another way. Gary, what do you think of my painting? Art teacher, it's very good, but it could be better. There's not enough color over here, and this part is too white. Wow, this house is perfect. There is a pool, a large driveway, and enough space for the kids to run around. Waiter, do you have enough wine, or would you like some more? Customer, no thanks, we have enough. Peter, let's go to the beach this weekend. Emma, it's not warm enough to go to the beach. Let's wait until the weather gets warmer. If you're determined enough, you can do anything in life. With enough dedication, anything is possible. There are too many cars and too much pollution in this city. I'm thinking about moving to another place. Muhammad Ali once said, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." Clara, I'm really sorry, but I'm too sick to go to work today. Boss, no problem. Make sure you get enough rest. Edward, I'm going to paint the bedroom today. Is this color bright enough? Gina, oh no, that color is too strong. Let's choose a softer color. Nowadays, phones are small enough to carry around with us, but they weren't always so small. In the 1980s, they were too big to carry easily.